So you've decided to do a 1031 exchange and everything you're looking at online just seems a bit overwhelming. So I'll do my best to break it down into 3 simple elements so you could decide on if a 1031 exchange is for you. Like I said, there's 3 simple elements, and I'm going to save the third because the third can be the most risky element of the 1031 exchange, and this is often where it goes wrong. You should really hire a professional that's really seasoned at a 1031 exchange and definitely has a lot more moving parts as opposed to just one transaction where you have your normal contingencies. Now the first element is equal or more value. What that means is, let's say for example you sell a duplex for $800,000 after real estate commissions, closing costs, and let's say you paid for a termite, it came out to $740,000. So what that means is you have to invest $740,000 or more, and that could be into any like property. That's any kind of real estate pretty much. It could be vacant land, it could be an apartment building, it could be 3 condominiums. So just as long as that meets that equal or more definition, and of course some other details that I can't really go into detail about because the video will be so long, that's pretty much what makes up that first element. The second element is the 180-day mark. What that means is from the time you close escrow on the relinquished property, you have 180 days, and that seems like a lot of time. It's half a year, about a half a year, where you have to go close escrow on that property that we talked about for that like exchange. Now the third element is probably the one that makes people the most nervous. That's the 45-day milestone. From the time you relinquish the property and within 45 days, you have to identify or go into escrow with the replacement property. So if you can imagine, if you find something really nichey and it only comes across the market once in a while, that's going to be very tough. Well, they did make it a little easy on you. They made it where you could identify up to 3 properties. You don't have to go into escrow, you just have to identify them within that 45 days. But that can also go wrong too. So there's some things that you can do to offset the risk, because there are no extensions for the 45 days or the 180 days that I talked about. If you're looking for something that is really tough to find, really tough to close escrow on, you can do what's called a reverse 1031 exchange, and you could purchase the property before you give up the property that you're in right now. But then of course that's the most costly. So what you can do is you can manage that 45-day window, and before you even put your existing property in escrow, what you want to do is make sure that that property that you're looking for is going to be available. If you look through all the sold listings and you're not seeing something within your budget or that fits your needs, likely that property isn't out there for you. So then you really have to come to grips with what the market has to offer today. So then the real estate agent could really do a lot of things on your relinquished property when that's listed, so you're not running up against that 45-day timeline. And again, it's a complicated transaction. You definitely want to do it with someone experienced. And I'm Edwin Baloloy with T&G Real Estate Consultants. Go to midriseliving.com or click